classmates. Today, me, Mei, and my group member Cheng Chun, Tei Yifei, Li Fei and Li Kok-yi are going to present about the relationship between the behavior and standard finance. So, I'm going to present about the history of behavioral finance. In 1979, Kahneman and Tversky created the prospect theory. In 1999, the Richard Taylor introduced the mental accounting bias. In 1985, the Bond and the Taylor created the theory of overreaction of stock market. And in 1999, the Mills-Stedman created a behavior assess pricing theory and behavior portfolio theory. In 2001, the Hilbert formula introduced the importance of behavioral finance. In 2005, the Cole and Subway created the effect of behavioral bias on stock price. And as the hypothesis were predict, in the year following of 2008, the market appeared to have learned from their mistake and adapted in Washington's way of the failure. Now I'm going to pass to next presenter, Cheng Chun, to continue her part.
According to the economic theories, investors is tend to think and behave rationally when buying and selling stock. So they will presume to use all available information to form a rational expectation. So economists has concluded that financial markets are stable, efficient, stock price follow a random and the overall economic tends towards general equilibrium. In reality, however, investors do not think and behave rationally. In the contrary, driven by greed and fear, investors that speculate stock between unrealistic highs and lows. In other words, investors are misled by extreme of emotion, subjective thinking, and whims of the crowd. Consistently form an irrational expectation for the future performance of company and the overall economy, such that stock price swing above and below fundamental values and follow a somewhat predictable wave like that. Investor behavior is a part of academic discipline known as behavioral finance, which explains how emotion and cognitive errors influence investor and the decision-making process. So I will continue with explain what is traditional finance and what is behavioral finance. Traditional finance is focused on how individuals should behave. Individuals are considered as being rational economic men. This leads to where market price reflect all available relevant information. There are three basic theoretical arguments, which is investors are rational and everyone take carefully account of all available information before making the investment decision, and decision maker always pursues self-interest. While for the behavioral finance is the way the information is presented to investors can affect how they make decisions, and it can lead to emotional and cognitive biases. It also focuses on why investors behave the way they do. Behavioral finance also encompasses research that drop to traditional assumption of expected utility, maximization with rational investor in efficient markets. The two building blocks of behavioral finance are cognitive psychology and the limits to arbitrage. Cognitive refers to how people think and the limit to arbitrage when the market is inefficient. And there is huge psychology literature documenting that people make systematic error in the way they think, such as they always make decisions easier, which heuristic, overconfidence, put too much weight on recent experience with representativeness, and separate decisions that should be combined with mental accounting, wrong presenting the individual matters with framing, tend to be slow to pick up the changes with conservatism, and their preference may also correct distortion when they avoid realizing paper losses and seek to realize paper gains with deposition effect. Behavioral finance uses models in which agents are not fully rational, either because of preference or because of mistaken beliefs. Next, I will pass my part to Yi Hui.
Hi, I'm Yi Hui, and now I'm going to explain about the explanation of market anomalies by behavioral finance. So, according to behavioral finance, according to efficient market hypothesis, markets are rational and prices of stock fully reflect all available information. The price of security will quickly adjust to new information as readily that information is available. But according to behavioral finance, this kind of efficient market cannot explain the observed anomalies. Market anomalies are the unusual occurrence or abnormality in smooth pattern of stock market. So one of the example of case of the market anomalies is Dutch tulip bubble. And now I'm going to show you guys a short video about what actually Dutch tulip bubble is about.
As mentioned in the business cycle video, humans aren't robots. Greed is one of the desires which make us imperfect, and it's precisely greed that fuels asset bubbles. During a bubble, the price of an asset goes up sharply over a certain period of time, but then collapses. Strangely enough, the first recorded asset bubble involved tulips. The tulip mania, as it was called, peaked all the way back in 1637. Lots of other asset bubbles took place as of that point, involving stocks, real estate, and so on. Regardless of which asset we're talking about though, bubbles tend to follow a similar path. 1. An asset starts gradually becoming more and more popular among experienced investors. 2. As the popularity of the asset grows, less experienced investors start joining the party. 3. Eventually, prices grow so much that the asset starts receiving attention among regular people. You hear about it in the media, during casual conversations, and so on. At this point, even people who know next to nothing about investing want a piece of the action. 4. As of a certain point, the price increase can no longer be sustained and people start panic selling. Prices drop sharply, but some investors are still in denial. They think the fall is just temporary, so the drop eventually stops for a while and prices may even start rising a bit. 5. Finally though, as more and more investors start losing confidence in the asset, prices collapse for good.
So guys, just imagine, will you buy a flower, just one, for 200 ringgit, will you?
No.
No, right? So, but according to the graph, from this graph, right, we can see at that time there are so many people crazy with the flowers. So why the people are willing to pay so much just for flowers? So here are 5 of the reasons of bubble psychology that play into market mania. The first one is herd behavior. This effect is evident when people doing what others are doing instead of using their own information or making independent decisions. It's like, for example, you see there are a lot of people buy the flower and make money. So you also tend to follow them to buy the flowers, or maybe you feel this is cool to follow the trend. Then the second one is overconfidence. People tend to overestimate their intelligence and capability relative to others. And the third one, confirmation bias. We selectively seek information that support existing theory, and we ignore the information that disprove this theory. This theory is like in this case, people are too overconfident and believe they sure can make a lot of money in this investment. So they keep buying the flowers and ignore the risk, which is meant by the confirmation bias. So the fourth is hindsight bias. We overestimate our abilities to predict the future based on the recent past. We tend to overemphasize recent performance in our thinking. In this example, it's like, as we can see, the price just now is of the tulip mania is always go up, right? So people might think that oh, since now the price of the flower is so high, so I should buy more and invest in this market because in the future the price of the flower might go more higher. Then the last one is anchoring. So we hear a number, then when asked a value-based question, even unrelated to the numbers, we gravitate to value that was suggested. This is mean like now you hear the flower is at 200 ringgit. So when someone say want to sell you the flower at 100 ringgit, you feel wow, this is very cheap. But if someone say I want to sell you the flower at 300 ringgit, then you feel oh, that is very expensive. So from the above cases, we can conclude that bubble clearly have an emotional component. Human may be irrational, but they are predictable irrational. So thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
I'm Krishna. I'm going to talk about the advantages and the limitation of the behavioral finance compared to the standard finance. The first one is to make a better decision. For example, like people may the behavioral finance can minimize our chance of acting irrational, so that we can know what to do and make a better choice. And the second one is to avoid the financial mistake. For example, like manager bias can direct or impact on their employee. So behavioral finance can teach them how to avoid those mistakes. And the third one is to predict and understand the market anomalies. We can analysis when the market is abnormal, that cannot explain by the traditional finance. And the last one is politicians and lawmakers can devise better policy. Like, for example, government can come out with the new law and regulation to protect their citizens and result in a more secure, more financially secure. And the limitation is to fail to come out with a simple, unified, and refutable theory. This is because human behavior is complicated and there is no just a simple thing to explain with the different situations. And the second one is cannot explain some body issue. For example, like the from a phenomenon, we can explain on a phenomenon but cannot explain with another related phenomenon. And the third one is narrow and limited critique. It remains stuck on the individual acts. This is because there are so many people in the world, there are many different thinking. So they may use just small and non-representative sample to explore the theory. And the last one is limited predictor power. The theory tells us more about what people will not do than they will do. The theory is not strict logic and unified regulation. Now I would like to pass to next presenter, Go-E, to continue.
So for future direction should be research on the area that behavioral finance should be put into the future, which is AMH. AMH is to replace the EMH. So why should focus on this area? Since EMH is any publicly available information on future performance of firm should already be embedded in stock price. So only the new information will cause the stock price changes, which means that investor may become more confident or overconfident through this information when they are making decisions, which means behavior bias will affect their decision. So the second point is, if truly efficient market exists, how can there be bubbles in the market? The researcher Edmund Chris has claimed for years that evidence that support investor is more irrational than rational. So for the benefit of AMF's ability to describe the complex trading environment, and people is able to adapt to an ever-changing environment. So, for example, in efficient market, investors do not make mistakes. So they have no chance to learn from the mistake because the market environment is stationary. In the AMS, mistakes occur frequently, but investors have the chance to learn from the mistake and adapting their behavior accordingly. So in 2008, financial crisis cost millions of jobs, erased more than 16 million in household wealth, and deeply scarred confidence in the integrity of financial market. So to reduce the market crash, government can try to apply Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. This regulation is to promote the financial stability of a country by improving accountability and transparency in the financial system. So to protect consumer from abusive financial service practice and other purpose. For a highlight of the legislation, the first one is consumer financial protection. This to ensure that the consumer get a clear and accurate information of mortgage, credit card and other financial products. And this to protect them from deceptive practice and more transparency. This to provide consumer with access to full information about mortgage and credit scores along with a 24-hour call-free consumer hotline to report issues with the financial service. And the last one is consumer protection responsibility. This is to work with regulators in large banks to stop the business practice such as risky lending. Then the bank should not simply lend the money to the people. So that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.